This weekend, I'm really excited. I'm in Toronto, and Toronto is hosting Indy Car this weekend, so I got a 3-day pass for the whole weekend to check out Indy Car. I've never been to Indy Car or anything, so this should be really fun. And it's right here in town. Like, it's a street circuit, so it goes right through the middle of town here. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm excited to go check it out. Let's go. I'm in the paddock right now. Since today is free, no one needs tickets to get in, so everyone can just walk around everywhere without needing a wristband or anything to get in, so that's kind of cool. Walk around the paddock. This giant line behind me, they're doing driver autographs in a little bit, so that's a giant line, which I am not getting in. I don't really watch IndyCar, so I don't know a lot of the drivers or anything, which I kind of wish I did, but if it was Formula One, I would know all the drivers, no problem. But so walk around here, checking it out. Today's Friday, so it's just practice day today. Tomorrow, Saturday, is qualifying, and then Sunday's race day. So it's kind of cool just walking around here, being able to check out all the garages. Well, not the garages, but they're working on the cars here before they take them out on track. That's kind of cool. And they got racing simulators set up, so you can try racing simulators if you want. And obviously food court and everything. All the semi-trucks are in here, carrying all their gear and the cars and whatnot, so that's kind of cool. Now I think there's going to be a few people here that are also involved in F1. So I just met Will Buxton, which is kind of cool. Didn't know he was going to be here. I know McLaren has an IndyCar team, so I was wondering, and maybe Zach Brown's going to be here, because F1 doesn't have a race this weekend, so he might be here. We'll see. That was cool. I just met Will Buxton. Wasn't expecting that. Day 1 done, practice done. There still is, for one of the sport races, they have qualifying right now. So that's going on. I'm calling it a night. I'm gonna go back to my camp spot for tonight. Back at it tomorrow. Today's been fun so far, so 2 more days to go. Should be a good weekend. Practice session is done. I went and also had some lunch after. So now just waiting on qualifying to start, which will start here in, I don't know, an hour and a bit. In the meantime, they have all the supporting races going on. So there's like almost always cars on track. First segment of qualifying is determined based on what their practice times were from earlier this morning. So because there's so many drivers and they're probably just gonna get in the way of each other and trying to get their qualifying times, they split the 27 drivers into 2 groups. So the first group gets 10 minutes on track, and then also the second group gets 10 minutes on track. They get 10 minutes to put in their fastest lap time they can. From there, the top 6 drivers from each group move on to the second segment, and the rest of the drivers, basically wherever they qualify, if they're the slowest, they start at the back for the race tomorrow. The second segment of qualifying is those 12 drivers that moved on from the first segment of qualifying. They basically get another 10 minutes to put on their fastest lap, and the top 6 move on to the third part of qualifying, and the bottom 6 finish and they qualify whatever their lap times ended up being at. The 6 fastest cars that then advance into the third segment of qualifying, they get 6 minutes to put in their fastest lap, and wherever they finish, that's where they start on the grid for the race tomorrow. So it's a bit of a process of elimination, trying to get the slowest cars out, and then basically it's a shootout for the last 6 to get pole position and start right at the front of the grid. Tomorrow is a 90 lap race. It should be about an hour and a half, hour and a half, something like that. So should be fun afternoon tomorrow.
I'll do my best tomorrow to bring it up. Appreciate your time.
officially grid set for the race tomorrow. Should be interesting because there's 70% chance of rain, so could spice things up and maybe some crashes. Hopefully not, but could get interesting. I'm going back to my camp spot and make some dinner. Be back tomorrow for race day. Indy race officially done. 90 laps. It was really exciting actually. There was quite a few crashes and a bunch of safety cars and everything. They ended up finishing the race under safety car, which always isn't the greatest, but it was a really fun race. The only thing I wish was that I had actually bought a seat and not just general admission, which would have been nice because I was looking through two fences to look at the cars, but other than that, it was kind of nice just walking around, being able to see the race from everywhere, basically. And yeah, McLaren ended up winning, so I actually got to see Zach Brown. I didn't realize he was here this weekend, so that was kind of cool. And then earlier met Will Buxton, so yeah, fun weekend. I'm going to go make some dinner. I'm basically running on about 3 or 4 hours of sleep, so probably gonna head to bed early tonight. I'm gonna end the video there. See you in the next one.